Hello everyone, this is Southern Belle Whisper. I hope you all are having a happy Sunday. It is time for my weekly Bible study, and I am so glad I went to church today, you guys, because if I hadn't gone, I don't think I would have had the strength or the passion to do this video today. So I am so glad that I went to church today. I couldn't go last Sunday because I drank for July 4th, and then I was hungover the next day, and I couldn't go. And then today, and with everything going on, I was like, I don't care. I'm going to get up, I'm going to get dressed, and I'm going to go to church. Because this church, you guys, it's like God called me to it when I first moved here. When I first moved here, I started going to a church. It's right down the road, like a mile down the road. Same church that I used to go to as a kid. So everybody I know is there. But the pastor, God bless him, I'm not saying anything bad about him. I don't really say anything bad about anybody, or I try not to. But let's just say if I'd gone to that church today, all I would have heard is President Trump almost got shot yesterday. This is a wicked world where you can't even feel safe at Pennsylvania rally for president. And that's how he was. Like, okay, I don't come to church to get depressed. I come to church to hear a sermon that is going to bless me and last the whole week. Because you guys know I start my new job tomorrow. So, I'm sorry, but I can watch the news for that stuff. I don't go to church just for like a news recap. No, I can't stand that. I want somebody that is on fire for God and passionate about what he does. In this new church, I really, really like the pastor a lot. And I like the worship pastor. He's really nice. Him and his wife are really nice. And just everybody's so nice to each other. And I just knew every time I go there, I know I'm about to hear something that is going to not only bless my week, but be relatable. So today he talked about through the fire. He talked about books or stories in the Bible, like about the three men in the like trench hole, and the soldier saying there were three men in that trench in the fire when we put them in there, but now I see a fourth figure in the fire. And I love that story. It gives me goosebumps every time. And the story about Moses and the burning bush. And he just talked about how you are never alone. If you're a Christian, God is always there for you through everything. And I kind of look back at few of my videos recently, and you can just tell how sad I am. And I was just thinking on the way back home from listening to that sermon and getting such a blessing from it, I'm like, my worries seem so trivial when it comes to other people out in the world. I'm healthy, I've got a new job, I've got my family that loves me, I have friends that love me. Why am I so focused not only on the people that don't want to be a part of my life, but things that God takes away, like Journey? Like, I've been so invested in Journey this last 8 days, and sad and grieving. But even that seems trivial to other people out there that are dealing with way worse. I was giving myself a little pep talk in the car. I was like, Kelly, it could be worse. There are people out there that are sick with cancer. There are people out there that had soldiers that had to have an arm amputated. I mean, there are people out there that have lost children, that have lost a sibling. Like, it could be worse. I told myself that it could be worse. So I just really wanted to go to work tomorrow with a good attitude. And I feel like this sermon really helped me to do that. If I hadn't gone to church today, I probably would went into work on my first day tomorrow and been like, I'm not here right now. Leave a message and I'll get back to you, type of attitude because of everything that's been going on. And he also said that God doesn't, how's it worded? God doesn't give us more than we can handle. And that is so true. Because yes, Journey is gone for the time being. But I got a job. I mean, sometimes the devil just wants to overshadow good news with something that you feel is horrible in your life. And that's why I've been going through it ever since I got my job. I've just been thinking about Journey, thinking about the past. And that the devil wants you to do that. He wants you to waste your time worrying about things you can't control. And every good thing that comes out of your life is overshadowed. That's how it is with me. But I told you, I'm going little tangents throughout this video. I can honestly tell you from the time I was 5 years old, I used to watch romantic movies and read romantic books. So I was a huge, hopeless romantic, you guys. Like from the time I was 5 years old, I was on the prowl for any cute boy. And you know what? That is what got me in trouble in the first place with my marriage, my broken marriage. Was that when I was 22, I was doing exactly what I'm doing right now. I went to church, I sang in the choir, I wrote in my journal. Like, I had a budding friendship with God. But then I would take my walks that I did every day to the beach and listen to music and think, am I ever going to fall in love? I would write in my journal that, God, you are the most important person in my life. But then I would be a hypocrite in the next hour, be walking and crying and saying, are you ever going to send me anybody? And that's that mindset that I've always had, that I have to have somebody to be happy, even if it's not romantic, even if it's a friend or a pet, anything. The pastor said today, he said, you are never alone. And I can't tell you guys the times that I've felt so alone. Seriously. So alone in everything that I was going through. I felt like nobody understood. And that's why this channel is such a blessing. And that I love that you guys love how honest and transparent I am with you guys. Because this channel is like I'll never be alone if I have my channel, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not alone. I have him. If I just pray and have that time with him, just quiet, praying, writing in my journal, I just feel so much better. My heart just feels so much more full after I have those times with him. Like even going to church today. I knew going to church today would give me a huge blessing, and it did. But what we're going to study in the Bible today is a book in the Bible that I decided to start reading. Something just told me, read Job. So I've been studying Job in the Bible. And I want to read some of the book of Job with you guys, because I feel like there are more people out there that feel like they're alone, that feel like life is never going to get better for them, that, oh my gosh, if one more thing happens to me, I swear I'm going to do something crazy, I just feel like there are a lot of people out there that are new in their faith, and life can get hard. And I know that. I know I have days where my faith is no bigger than a mustard seed. To this day, I have days where I'm like, even with Journey, I wasn't professing it with my mouth, but in my head I was like, why would God take away Journey knowing how heartbroken I was over losing patty cake? Like, I asked myself that in my head so many times since Journey has been missing. And that's not the way to go about things. It's not. You have to thank God for every little thing that He blesses you with. And I know there are tribulations in life. That is just life. But that's why I love my religion so much, because I do have somebody I can turn to when life gets hard. And I do have somebody that will forgive me if I ever question my faith, ever. And He'll just welcome me back with open arms every time. So, we're going to be reading from the book of Job today. I got it bookmarked. Now, we might have to do a couple videos on Job, because it is a pretty good big book in the Bible. I hope you guys don't mind that. Okay, so this is the introduction. I love these introductions. The book of Job. It's easy to thank God when He does what we want, but God doesn't always do what we want. Ask Job. His empire collapsed, his children were killed, and what was a healthy body became a rage of boils. From whence came this torrent? From whence will come any help? Not from his wife. You can't blame her for telling Job to curse God, but to curse God and die? Then come his friends. They mean well, but they comfort poorly. They tell him he must have been pretty bad to get it so bad. With friends like you guys, Job says, and then tells them to take their theology back to the dime store where they bought it. Getting no comfort from family or friend, he goes straight to God and pleads his case. His head hurts, his body hurts, his heart hurts, and he can't tolerate any more half-baked answers. Why is this happening to me, he demands. And God answers, not with answers, but with questions, an ocean of questions. Space doesn't permit their listing, but one or two will convey the point. Can you lift up your voice to the clouds? Then an abundance of water may cover you. Can you send out lightnings that they may go and say to you, here we are? After several dozen of these, Job is left on the beach, drenched and wide-eyed, knowing he will never argue with the ocean again. He lifts his hand and cries, enough. He has gotten the point. What is it? God owes no one anything, no reasons, no explanations, nothing. If He gave them, we couldn't understand them, which makes the conclusion of the book all the more moving. Even though God owed Job nothing, He gave him everything. New health, new business, new family, and most of all, new insight. God is God. He knows what He is doing. When you can't trace His hand, trust His heart. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. The first few chapters are Job and the tribulations that he's going through. So I'm not even at the part where God comes in yet. So I just wanted to warn you guys. It's kind of sad a little bit, but we have to start here to get to the happy ending, right? Okay. Job and his family in Uz. There was the man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was blameless and upright, and one who feared God and shunned evil. And 7 sons and 3 daughters were born to him. Also his possessions were 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, 500 female donkeys, and a very large household, so that this man was the greatest of all the people of the east. And his sons would go and feast in their houses, each on his appointed day, and would send and invite their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. So it was, when the days of feasting had run their course, that Job would send and sanctify them. And he would rise early in the morning and offer burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, "It may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts." Thus Job did regularly. Satan attacks Job's character. I hate Satan. I don't hate anybody, but I hate Satan. And Chris Watts. Sorry, I know that was random, but I don't hate anybody, but I hate Satan and I hate Chris Watts. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came among them. And the Lord said to Satan, "From where do you come?" So Satan answered the Lord and said, "From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking back and forth on it." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and an upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil?" So Satan answered the Lord and said, "Does Job fear God for nothing? Have you not made a hedge around him, around his household, and around all that he has on every side? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. But now stretch out your hand and touch all that he has, and he will surely curse you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, all that he has is in your power. Only do not lay a hand on his person." So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord. Job loses his property and children. Now there was a day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house. And a messenger came to Job and said, "The oxen were plowing and the donkeys feeding beside them, when the Sabeans raided them and took them away. Indeed, they have killed the servants with the edge of the sword, and I alone have escaped to tell you." While he was still speaking, another also came and said, "The fire of God fell from heaven and burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. I alone have escaped to tell you." While he was still speaking, another also came and said, "The Chaldeans formed 3 bands, raided the camels and took them away, yes, and killed the servants with the edge of the sword, and I alone have escaped to tell you." Hold on one second, you guys. While he was still speaking, another also came and said, "Your sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house. And suddenly a great wind came from across the wilderness and struck the 4 corners of the house, and it fell on the young people, and they are dead. And I alone have escaped to tell you." Then Job arose, tore his robe, and shaved his head. And he fell to the ground and whispered, and he said, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." In all this Job did not sin nor charge God with wrong. Satan attacks Job's health. Again there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said to Satan, "From where do you come?" Satan answered the Lord and said, "For going to and fro on the earth, and from walking back and forth on it." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil, and still he holds fast to his integrity, although you incited me against him to destroy him without cause?" So Satan answered the Lord and said, "Skin for skin. Yes, all that a man has he would give for his life. But stretch out your hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will surely curse you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, he is in your hand, but spare his life." So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and struck Job with painful blows from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. And he took for himself a potsherd with which to scrape himself while he sat in the midst of the ashes. Then his wife said to him, "Do you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse God and die." But he said to her, "You speak as one of the foolish women speaks. Shall we indeed accept good from God, and shall we not accept adversity?" And all this Job did not sin with his lips. Job's 3 friends. Now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this adversity that had come upon him, each one came from his own place. Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite, for they had made an appointment together to come and mourn with him and to comfort him. And when they raised their eyes from afar and did not recognize him, they lifted their voices and wept. And each one tore his robe and sprinkled dust on his head toward heaven. So they sat down with him on the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and no one spoke a word to him, for they saw that his grief was very great. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Where I've been grieving, I literally get physically sick when I'm upset about something. So if I go off camera, it's because of this thing right here. I cannot wait to get medical insurance, you guys, so I can figure all this out. But I'm sorry about that, by the way. Okay, one more chapter, and then we'll save the rest for next week. Job deplores his birth. After this, Job opened his mouth and cursed the day of his birth. And Job spoke and said, May the day perish on which I was born, and the night in which it was said, A male child is conceived. May that day be darkness, may God above not seek it, nor the light shine upon it. May darkness and the shadow of death claim it. May a cloud settle on it. May the blackness of the day terrify it. As for that night, may darkness seize it. May it not rejoice among the day of the year. May it not come into the number of the months. Oh, may that night be barren. May no joyful shout come into it. May those curse it who curse the day. Those who are ready to arouse Levi then. May the stars of its morn be dark. May it look for light but have none, and not see the dawning of the day, because it did not shut up the doors of my mother's womb, nor hide sorrow from my eyes. Why did I not die at birth? Why did I not perish when I came from the womb? Why did the knees receive me, or why the breasts that I should nurse? For now I would have lain still and been quiet, I would have been asleep. Then I would have been at rest with kings and counselors of the earth, who built ruins for themselves, or with princes who had gold, who filled their houses with silver. Or why was I not hidden like a stillborn child, like infants who never saw light? There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary are at rest. There the prisoners rest together. They do not hear the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. Why is light given to him who is in misery, and life to the bitter of soul, who long for death but it does not come, and search for it more than hidden treasures, who rejoice exceedingly, and we are glad when they can find the grave? Why is light given to man whose way is hidden, whom God has hedged in? For my sighing comes before I eat, and my groanings pour like water. For the thing I greatly feared has come upon me, and what I dreaded has happened to me. I am not at ease, nor am I quiet. I have no rest, for trouble comes. And then somebody had written in the Bible, and I highlighted it, the spirit of fear is not of the Lord. And that is the God's honest truth, you guys. The emotion fear is not of God. Same with worry, same with uncertainty. Every emotion that is of God is a happy emotion. Gratefulness, happiness, joyfulness. All the good emotions are of God. And then the emotions like fear and worry are of this world. But we're only human, and I'm guilty of it as well. All the bad emotions. So I get it. I do. And that's why I am studying so hard and trying my best to be more godlike, because, or not godlike, but more, have more faith. Because my brain, like I told you guys, I couldn't sleep. Last night was the first night that I actually got a really good night's sleep. I'll tell you guys what happened before I read in my Jesus Calling book. Hold on, sorry. Okay, so last night, I spent another day calling for Journey. Me and my dad walked around the whole our land, looking for him, calling for him. And last night, it was about 8 o'clock. I'd say I went on the porch to look, and I've told you guys I put everything out there that people have told me, like his litter box and my shirt and his food. And when I opened the door, I saw a cat jump off the porch. But it wasn't him. It was the orange cat from next door, but she's a girl. So in my head, I was thinking, what if he's been with her this whole time? But he didn't come back last night. But when I questioned myself that, when I said, Journey might not be far behind, and it was raining, it was a little misty rain yesterday, which we desperately needed. But when I turned around, there was this huge rainbow behind me. And I took a few pictures. If you guys would like to see it, let me know. But it was like God answering me and saying, have faith. Everything's going to be okay. I told him, I said, please give me a sign that everything's going to be okay. Turned around, saw the big rainbow. I love rainbows. But yeah, that was like my sign from God, just saying, let it go, and I have everything taken care of. Okay. So, for July 14th, keep walking with me along the path I have chosen for you. Your desire to live close to me is a delight to my heart. I could instantly grant you the spiritual riches you desire, but that is not my way for you. Together we will forge a pathway up the high mountain. The journey is atrocious at times, and you are weak. Someday you will dance light-footed on the high peaks, but for now your walk is often plodding and heavy. All I require of you is to take the next step, clinging to my hand for strength and direction. Though the path is difficult and the scenery dull at the moment, there are sparkling surprises just around the bend. Stay on the path I have selected for you. It is truly the path of life. Okay, one more time, you guys, I promise. I hate this. I don't know why this does this, seriously. Okay, Mama. Okay, sorry. My mama's calling me. But I'm almost off of here anyways. I'm going to go ahead and end this video with a prayer that I do every week. So, we're going to bow our heads, close our eyes. Dear God, thank you for blessing my pastor with a sermon that really blessed me and spoke to me today. Thank you for being patient with me and being with me as I walk along this earth, just trying to be a better person. Thank you for walking through the fires of my life with me. Even in the times where I felt alone, you were always there through every sickness, every broken heart, every hurt. You have always been there. And may you be there for other people out there that need you and need that guidance and need that friendship that only you can offer. They're going through the fire, God, and they're getting burned. And they're helpless, and they're wondering where their Redeemer is. They don't know who to call. They just don't know. They don't have faith, and they're going through the fire, and they're getting burned. And I just pray that you stay with those people as well, and just give them an epiphany that only you are their only friend. Only you are their protection. Only you can give them the life that they so desperately want. Happiness, joyfulness, a family, a big house, a good job. I wish that on everybody in the world. Watch over whoever is sick. Watch over whoever is weary. Watch over anybody that needs healing, guidance, love. Just watch over them all. Watch over Journey if he's still out there. Watch over him and guide his footsteps home if he's still out there. But if not, it's okay. I've accepted it, and I'm going to be okay either way. And just thank you, God, for all the blessings you bestow upon me, including this new job tomorrow. I know I've been praying for months for this, and I'm sorry that all that's been going on got overshadowed. My job got overshadowed by life, and I'm sorry for that. But I love you. I aim to please you and to walk in my footsteps with you. I love you. Thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. Alright, you guys. I love you guys. I will be talking to you soon, okay?